Hello and welcome to a new series I am calling the Self-Love Series. This is going to be a series where I help you all along your self-love journey. It's a journey that I've been on for some time now and a journey that I plan on being on for the rest of my life, because we are always growing and learning and evolving, and I don't think that is something that ever truly ends, because throughout life you experience different things that shape you as a person. I've been on this journey for a little while now, and I have just gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom. I feel like part of my purpose here is to share that knowledge and wisdom and help people along their journey. Life comes with a lot of lows and highs, and I know the place that I was in before I started this journey. I know how much this journey has truly changed me and saved me in so many different ways. I just feel like it's time for me to share that with you guys. The first thing that I kind of want to talk about that you will hear come up a lot in these videos are basically God, but I do want to kind of explain my views on God and what I mean when I say these things, just so you guys have an understanding. God has truly helped me through this journey, and I don't know where I would be if I had not surrendered my life to God. I do want to start off by saying that I am very spiritual. I'm not very religious. So you might hear me use the word God. You might hear me say the divine, the most high, the higher power. I also refer to my spirit team, and when I say that, I'm referring to my angels, my ancestors that guide me. I accept all loving, supportive energy in the form of humans here on earth. God will put earth angels in your path, but also my angels that are no longer here. I do hope that that doesn't deter you from watching these videos if we don't share the same beliefs. I am a firm believer that if the message is yours, if something resonates with you or is meant for you, if it feels like love, then I hope you're open to accepting it. Sometimes, I might read a Bible scripture that really resonates with me, and if I feel like God is trying to tell me something, I accept that energy. But if you do feel like it's just something you disagree with, that maybe this is not for you, I do not take offense at all. I think we should all respect each other. I think that we should always listen to and go where we feel that we resonate. So you respect what I believe in, I respect what you believe in, and I'm okay with that. So the premise of this series, obviously we're going to be talking about the journey to self-love. I really just want to give you guys some tools for this journey, because it can be really, really hard, and I hope that I can just help aid you guys on this journey, maybe let a little bit of the load off, and so you just don't feel like you're in this alone. Another thing that is a part of my goal for this series is that I truly do want to share with you guys, or plan on sharing with you guys, some personal experiences of mine. I just find that as a way for you guys to really see how the tools I'm sharing with you guys, like how to use them, or times where I've needed to use them. But I also want to share my experiences, because I think it's important that you guys understand that I'm not just speaking from a place where like I'm a person that has healed or like didn't have certain things that I needed to heal from, and I'm just spitting out stuff for you to do without acknowledging that it is hard and that it takes time, and the ways, you'll go forward and then double back, or I just want you guys to understand that like I have been through similar things, or maybe different things, but kind of the same lesson, just in a different experience. But I feel like that's very valuable, and I just want you guys to know that I'm speaking from experience, not just what I think you should do, because it is hard. Change is hard. Growth is hard, regardless of the different experiences we're trying to grow from or through. it's still a difficult experience. So that's why I do plan on sharing with you guys some of that. So I do want you guys to truly understand that the difficulty level of the healing journey, of the self-love journey, is hard to easy. It is going to be really hard in the beginning because it's new. It's something, it's like a muscle that you haven't really exercised before. Maybe setting boundaries is something that you want to learn or are here to learn, and that's just something you've never had or never felt comfortable doing. So it's gonna be really, really hard in the beginning because it's completely new to you. But as you exercise that muscle and in different situations, you practice these things, it will get easier. So just understand that and don't let it deter you from the path. And also give yourself grace. Give yourself a lot of grace during this journey because you only know what you know right now. Give yourself some grace. There will be moments where like you have an opportunity to use this new lesson or this new thing that you've learned, and then the next time you're presented with the same opportunity to use that, you might fall short. Don't, count yourself out. Don't tell yourself that, oh, I clearly didn't learn anything because I found myself in the same situation. I firmly believe that God will send you the same situation multiple times. You have to continue to prove that you have leveled up past that place in your life. It's like reaching a level of mastery. Like, it's not just, oh, this one version of this situation, I passed the test. Like, it will come up multiple times and you have to just lean into yourself, your intuition, your knowing, and you have to keep going and you have to keep applying those same lessons and things that you've learned to multiple different situations. The thing that keeps me going is just the idea of what is my life, or what could my life be if I followed this path as far as I possibly can in this lifetime. At any point in the journey, you can stop. And there will be times where you reach a certain checkpoint and you just sit in that energy for as long or as little as you want to before you pick back up, or just before, sometimes God wants you to enjoy the spot you just made it to for a second, and then boom, you got another lesson on the way. I always think like, what could my life be though if I always keep going? If God pushes me and I continue to push myself, like what would my life look like if I kept going? Like, and I feel that by me continuing on this journey always, I feel like I am giving myself a chance to see my highest potential. I give myself a chance to meet all the people that God intends for me to meet as I enter new phases and new levels of my life. And I think something that's important is God and your spirit team will truly love you either way. That's my personal belief. I don't believe that God stops loving you if you decide not to walk the righteous path anymore. I think God will love you either way. I think that God truly wants the best for you, and your spirit team truly wants the best for you. I just kind of settled on the whole idea that like, I could stop right now. If I wanted to, I could stop progressing on this journey. I could stop trying to break through these walls and break through these generational curses and pushing past my limit. I could do that, and there's no love lost from the higher power. There's no love lost there. But what I decided is that that's not good enough for me. I want to keep going. I want to see again what my highest potential is. So that does kind of segue into my first question I have for you guys. I have a series of questions that I just kind of want you to ask yourself. You don't owe me an answer. You don't owe anyone an answer. You might be quick to say yes. Really sit and try and deeply understand. And I also understand like there's no way for you to know how far this journey will take you until you are in the thick of it. So kind of use like where you're trying to go and the person you're trying to become as an anchor for you throughout this journey. The first question is, am I truly ready for this journey and everywhere it's going to take me? Am I ready to become uncomfortable? Change is uncomfortable. Outside of your comfort zone is literally called uncomfortable. And that's exactly what this journey is going to be, because you are going to have to put your anxiety to the side sometimes in order to put yourself out there. You're gonna have to have uncomfortable conversations if you're not someone who normally does that. You're gonna have to face yourself and acknowledge your role and take accountability for your role in your own demise. It's very uncomfortable, this journey is, but it does get better over time. I'm the type of person, I kind of love being alone. I almost like isolate a little too much, and I have more social anxiety. So my anxiety more so comes with setting boundaries and having honest conversations about what's bothering me, instead of just kind of letting certain things like go just so I don't have to deal with confrontation or be problematic. I feel more uncomfortable in a large setting of people where, on the contrary, I know there's a lot of people who feel the opposite. They feel scared to be alone with themselves. That gives them anxiety, being alone with their thoughts and being alone with their feelings and being alone and really looking straight in the face at themselves and the things that they've done and the decisions they've made and how they've directly impacted their life negatively. So that can be scary too, and it depends on what kind of person you are, but just prepare to be uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you know that you are growing. It's like growing pains, but this is spiritually, it just feels like anxiety, but it will get better. But that is what you have to do in order to grow. And I think that that's important for you to just kind of accept, even if that takes you some time. Like, I accept that in order to get where I'm trying to go, I have to get uncomfortable. My next question is, are you willing to leave people behind? That is a really, really big one. You will, throughout this journey, you are going to ascend. And not everyone in life in general is meant to ascend with you or by themselves. Not everyone's on the same journey, and that's what life is about. You have to accept sometimes that in order for you to get to where you're going, you will have to leave some people behind. You will have to, and always, that doesn't mean close off space for them to meet you where you are. That doesn't always mean you have to completely cut people off and never speak to them again, but it's just sometimes you have to give up certain parts of your life, and then in doing that, sometimes you'll realize the only reason you connected with some people is because you were in that vibration, and so were they. I have had to end friendships, that 20-year-long friendships, people I grew up with since kindergarten. I've had to put distance in between me and family because we just don't want the same things or don't view things the same way or don't, or sometimes you just resonate with people while you're in a certain place in your life. Sometimes, sometimes people only like you when you show up a certain way. So you have to be willing to leave people behind, because sometimes you just can't bring them with you, or not even bring them with you. Sometimes they don't want to go with you. And you got to recognize that too. Sometimes we fight for people to come with us, but they will anchor you to the ground. They will anchor you at the level you're at if you don't learn to let go sometimes. So you have to be willing to leave people and environments and certain energies behind. And that will take some adjusting to. Again, that all of this falls under your willingness to be uncomfortable and out of your comfort zone. Another thing I want you to think about is what in your life do you know will keep you unsuccessful if you continue to stay in that energy? And if you need to, you can write these things down. You can get a self-love journey journal if you need to, or just a little old notebook. The notes app on your phone sometimes, or a lot of times I like to use that. But what is it in your life that you know right now? You know, you'll learn more things later that you didn't even know you were allowing to get in your way. But what do you consciously know right now that you do or participate in your life that's gonna keep you unsuccessful in A, B, or C areas of your life? Because it doesn't just have to be financially or career wise. It can be unsuccessful in love. It can be unsuccessful in just contentment. It can be things that keep you feeling low spiritually. And again, these are things you don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell nobody. These are things you just need to answer within yourself or God, if that's what you believe in. I do have one last question. Do you believe that you can have what it is that you want? Do you really, really, really believe that? Do you know that? In time, I will do a video about how to manifest your life. One thing about me, I am a master. I have reached mastery in terms of manifestation. Everything a year, 2 years, I said I wanted to do, or I wanted to, you know, the way I wanted things to go with certain things, because obviously we can't just plan our whole life and it's going to happen that way. But if you actually make goals with no time limit, and you know what, I ain't even going to get into all that right now. I will save that for another video, y'all. The key to manifesting and bringing your manifestations to life is to truly believe. I think that's like the missing ingredient a lot of times for people. They don't really believe that they can, on a soul level, they don't really believe they can have the things they say they can. And then a side note for that is sometimes you really don't know the how. Like sometimes you know the end goal, but you don't really know the how of how you're going to get to that end goal. Or like you don't really know. You just don't know. You don't. And honestly, sometimes you don't want to know. Sometimes you do not want to know, because that might scare you away from doing the things you have to do. That is all for the questions that I have for you guys. I think that in like bonus episodes or something like that, I do want to touch a little bit more into like the power of manifestation, how to alchemize negative energy, spiritual vampires, all kinds of things like that. Just little side note things. At the end of the day, I really wanted this episode to kind of just be an intro to the series. Just kind of give you guys some things to think about and ask yourself to see if this is something you really want to be on. You can always leave and come back. I've done that a few times. I will say in the beginning, it took me till about 1.5 years ago to completely and fully surrender myself to God. Another way I guess I can say that is it took me about 1.5 years ago to fully surrender to this journey and understand that this is just something that is a part of my life. That's going to be a part of my life. I am doing this for myself. I'm doing this for God. I will say the time that I chose to fully surrender my life was a very, very dark time for me. I was at a point where I just felt it was the only option I had left. I just kind of realized like it was this, or I wasn't really sure what the other option was going to be. So I, as a thank you to God for saving my life, I work on myself every day, and I choose to grow and to really see what God saved my life for. That is what keeps me going. That is why I'm on this journey. That's what motivates me. Me just seeing all the blessings and all the rewards that I've received for a job well done on this journey keeps me going. And then the girls and boys, my kids, everyone that comes after me, my nieces, my little cousins, they really keep me on this journey, because I think, especially during this time where we have social media, that we're just in a new age in the world, and I think it's really important for my girls to know these things before they start making big girl decisions. Some big girl decisions I was making when I was their age. They keep me going, and all of you who are going to tune into this series and hopefully start seeing their life change right before their eyes. Like, that's what this is for. I feel like this is what God called me to do. There were times, if you've been following me on social media for years, and you know, like, in different ways and methods I've done this before, but I truly feel like I've reached a certain place in my life I feel that I wanted to be in. Not just like in my environment or in my material world, but spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I truly feel like I'm in the right place for this journey now. I feel like I have the right platform and the right way I want to do this journey now. And I really just hope I can help you guys, and you help me. God helps you. God helps me. Literally, God help us all. But honestly, yeah, like, I truly just feel like this is where God called me to be, and this is what God has called me to do. So I will see you guys on episode 2 of the self-love journey. I thank you guys for watching. Until next time.